Country music has always told stories of heartbreak, hard roads, and lives cut short too soon. In the golden years of the genre, a few beloved voices left us in ways that still feel heavy decades later. From rising stars taken in sudden violence to legends whose final chapters shocked the industry. These are 10 country stars whose lives ended in tragedy, and the songs they left behind still echo today. Number 10. Goodbye Time. Voice, remembered. Conway Twitty.
It's your life.
Conway Twitty was already a towering figure in country music when tragedy quietly closed his final chapter in 1993. After a long and wildly successful career filled with smooth ballads and chart toppers, Twitty collapsed suddenly following a performance.
We could have saved our hearts.
Though his passing was ruled natural causes, the shock rippled through Nashville. Fans had just seen him on stage, still delivering that unmistakable velvet voice that defined an era. There was no long goodbye tour, no slow fade, just one of country's most dependable hitmakers suddenly gone. Picture the radios across America that summer, still spinning his love songs while the news spread. For many fans, it felt unreal. Today, Conway Twitty remains a cornerstone of classic country. His catalog proof that even when legends leave quietly, their voices never truly do. Number 9. The Door, Forever Closed. George Jones' Final Years. By the time George Jones reached the later years of his life, he had already lived one of the most turbulent stories in country history. While his death in 2013 came from natural causes, the emotional weight of his final years carried a different kind of tragedy. Jones had battled addiction, near career collapse, and personal demons that nearly silenced one of the greatest voices Nashville ever produced. Fans who saw him perform in his final tours often noticed the fragility behind the legend. The voice was still there, but time had clearly taken its toll. Imagine a dimly lit honky-tonk.
To hear that sound and to know it's real.
An old George Jones record spinning while longtime listeners reflected on the wild road he traveled. His passing closed the book on one of country music's most human stories. Messy, painful, but ultimately unforgettable. Number 8. David Stringbean Akeman. A Night That Shocked Nashville. In 1973, the country world was shaken by a crime that felt pulled straight from a dark ballad. David Stringbean Akeman, beloved Grand Ole Opry comedian and banjo player, was murdered alongside his wife Estelle during a robbery at their Tennessee home. The couple had just returned from the Opry that very night. What made the story even more haunting was Stringbean's wholesome, gentle image. He was the smiling face audiences trusted week after week. The killers believed the couple kept cash hidden in their home. The crime stunned Nashville and deeply rattled the Opry family. Picture fans gathered around small kitchen radios as the news broke. For many, it was the first time country music's warm world collided with real-world violence. Stringbean's legacy lives on as both a pioneer of country comedy and a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly joy can turn to silence. Number 7. Cowboy Copas. Lost in the Skies.
I went to a turkey roast down the street, and the people down there eating like wild geese along.
In March 1963, tragedy struck from above. Cowboy Copas was among the performers killed in the infamous plane crash that also claimed Patsy Cline and Hawkshaw Hawkins.
I'm going back to Alabama.
Copas had been a steady presence in country music since the 1940s, known for his smooth delivery and dependable chart success. The crash sent shockwaves through Nashville. 3 beloved performers gone in a single night. There was no farewell concert, no final bow, just headlines that left fans stunned and grieving. Imagine the jukeboxes still loaded with Copas records while listeners struggled to process the sudden loss.
Going back to Alabama.
Though often overshadowed by the bigger names lost that night, Cowboy Copas remains an important voice from country's formative years, one whose final flight still echoes through music history. Number 6. Hawkshaw Hawkins. A rising chapter, cut short.
I saw the light. I saw the light.
Hawkshaw Hawkins was riding a fresh wave of success in the early 1960s when fate intervened in the cruelest way. Also lost in the 1963 plane crash, Hawkins had just begun reaching a wider audience. His smooth baritone and easy stage presence made him a favorite among Grand Ole Opry crowds.
I saw the light. I saw the light. No more.
What adds another layer of heartbreak is that his biggest hit, Lonesome 7203, surged in popularity after his death. Success came, but he wasn't there to see it. Picture a quiet living room radio in 1963, that song playing while fans realized the man behind the voice was already gone. Hawkshaw Hawkins' story is one country music still remembers. A reminder that sometimes the brightest momentum can vanish in a single night.
Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside.
If these classic stories are bringing back memories, hit that like button and subscribe. We post new country countdowns every week, keeping the golden years of country music alive for fans just like you. Number 5. Johnny Paycheck. A career marked by turmoil.
This job and shoving. I ain't working here no more.
Johnny Paycheck's life read like one of the outlaw songs he sang. Known for the defiant anthem, "Take This Job and Shove It," Paycheck lived a life filled with legal troubles, prison time, and personal struggles. While he passed in 2003 from natural causes,
I can't wait till I walk up and he hears me.
the darker chapters of his life form one of country music's most cautionary tales. There were moments when it seemed his career might disappear entirely under the weight of controversy. Yet somehow, the voice always pulled listeners back in. Imagine a smoky bar in the late 1970s, Paycheck's rebellious hit blaring, while blue-collar fans nodded in agreement.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more.
His legacy is complicated, but undeniable. Johnny Paycheck didn't just sing about hard living, he lived every line of it. Number 4. Keith Whitley. A voice silenced. Too soon.
It's amazing how you can speak right.
Few losses in country music hit as hard as Keith Whitley's passing in 1989. At just 34 years old, Whitley was in the middle of what many believed would become a legendary career. His rich Kentucky tenor had already produced hits like When You Say Nothing at All.
But when you hold me near,
But behind the scenes, Whitley battled alcoholism, a struggle that ultimately led to his death from alcohol poisoning. The tragedy stunned fans because his star was still rising fast. Picture late-night country radio in 1989, his tender ballads playing while listeners processed the heartbreaking news.
the smile on your face lets me know that you need.
Today, Whitley is often remembered not just for the songs he gave us, but for the many he never had the chance to record. Number 3. Patsy Cline, the voice that Nashville still misses.
I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
When Patsy Cline died in the 1963 plane crash, country music lost one of its most powerful and emotionally rich voices. At just 30 years old, she had already crossed into pop success and was reshaping what a female country artist could be.
Worry. Why?
The crash came at the height of her momentum. Fans across America struggled to believe that the voice behind Crazy was suddenly gone. Imagine a lonely jukebox in a roadside diner, her voice floating through the room while the world slowly absorbed the loss. Patsy Cline's influence never faded.
I'm crazy for trying and
Decades later, new generations still discover her recordings and feel the same chill that listeners felt in 1963. Number 2. Jim Reeves, Nashville's gentleman, gone overnight.
Let's pretend that we're together.
Jim Reeves was known as Gentleman Jim for a reason. His smooth, polished sound helped define the Nashville sound era, but in 1964, tragedy struck when Reeves died in a private plane crash during a storm. He was only 40 years old.
Or is he holding you the way I...
What made his passing especially haunting was how strong his career still was. Hits continued to chart even after his death. Picture evening radio in the mid-1960s. His calm voice filling the airwaves while fans grappled with the sudden silence behind the microphone.
Do you want me answer yes or no?
Jim Reeves helped shape modern country's smoother direction, and his influence continues to echo through the genre today. Number 1. Charley Pride, a legend, whose final chapter touched millions.
Old friends on the street.
Charley Pride's passing in 2020 closed the book on one of country music's most groundbreaking careers. While his death came from complications related to illness, the emotional impact across the country community was immediate and profound.
The secret of our happiness.
Pride wasn't just a hit maker. He was a barrier breaker who changed the face of country music forever. His voice had been a steady presence for decades, delivering warmth, sincerity, and quiet strength. Picture country fans in living rooms across America revisiting his classics the week the news broke.
Kiss an angel good morning. Over like the dead.
Charley Pride's legacy isn't defined by how he left, but by how powerfully he lived and what he changed along the way. If you've enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like and subscribe for more country classics every week. And there you have it. 10 country stars whose stories remind us that behind every classic song is a real life, sometimes marked by heartbreak and sudden loss. From the skies over Tennessee to the quiet struggles behind the spotlight, these voices helped shape the sound of America. Thank you for spending these moments with us and keeping their music alive. And don't miss our next countdown, 10 criminally underrated guitarists who changed country forever, 70s and 80s, where we dive into another unforgettable chapter of country history. Until then, keep the music close.